To all my niggas tryna make it out one day. Spending all night praying that it take you someplace. Putting money on the bill, tryna get it, young life. We all want it all. Get rich and die trying.
Too many non-believers out right now. Where the motherfucking dreamers? Where the motherfucking dreamers? Where the motherfucking dreamers? Where the motherfucking dreamers? Too many non-believers out right now. Where the motherfucking dreamers?
Chuck D, Flip Flame, turning the XS1Ws and the Pete Rock remix to shut them down. Hip hop that mattered, and the platters they matter. And of course, joining us right about now during this time, very special guest that I've been telling y'all about all morning. And the reason why I start off with PE is because hip hop has room and encompasses all aspects of life, but it's most powerful when it encompasses a positive, socially conscious message. Yep. And nobody captures that more than Montreal's own M City Solo. Welcome to Butcher T. New Time Cuts.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, New Time.
First of all, it's a pleasure. And I got to take this opportunity, this moment, first of all, to sum all this up. There is so much talent in Montreal hip-hop going back to the late 1970s and early 1980s. And so many people have repped for the city. But I've been longing for that time. Chuck D's been a business partner of mine, and we've written books together. We do a radio show together, various things. And Kara's one good friend of mine as well.
Awesome.
But it's great when we can have someone in the city now carrying on that torch for hip-hop that matters. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. That was huge. That's Chuck D and KRS. Definitely, that's a great company to be a part of.
You and your brother have put together a very, very special project.
Yep.
And it's not just music. It is music. That's what people come to your party for. It's the music. Mm-hmm. But a very important mission, working with young people. Tell us about it.
What we started is what's called the Music with Meaning Tour. Mm-hmm. We did that, we started it 10 years ago, actually. It was this year's our 10th consecutive year.
Wow.
How it started was when I just started MCing, a lot of my songs were really street-based, real hardcore, and I had to do a show at one of my old high schools. And they asked my brother if I can perform, and it was about Darfur. We were talking about it was a real pandemic that was going on.
Right.
So my brother's like, okay, I know you don't really have appropriate music for your school, so perform and then talk to them, like give them a speech.
And what school was this?
This was Mac High.
Represent the Mac High.
Mac High in St. Anne de Bellevue.
Yes, sir.
So I get in there and I'm doing I do my song. The whole school's like, they enjoyed the song because it was hardcore and it's for the students. But then after that, I started speaking on some real subjects that's going on.
Right.
And because I opened the door with my music, they're susceptible to what I was saying after that.
Right.
So after that, my brother was in the back of the show. He watched that. The whole school went quiet and they're really listening. He called other schools to see if we could do it again. And then we got classrooms. We were doing cafeterias, like whatever program would allow it to happen. But then it would be like one classroom, and then a classroom would try to join that classroom. So then the principal.
You gotta send you to the gym now.
Exactly. So then the principal starts calling auditorium, and then we start performing for the whole school, and then. So now they book us and we perform for the entire school as we get there.
That's incredible. Now, would you say that there was a metamorphosis in your personal artistic ideology during that time when you realized
Definitely.
how the content of your music could affect young people, but especially young people?
Definitely. That's what it became an issue as well, because after a while I didn't even feel like performing the super hardcore songs, because I'm like, what am I really, they're not getting anything from this.
Right.
So I had to find a balance where I could kind of keep it hardcore, but keep a message in it as well. Like my new song Dreamers is kind of like that. It's like, I'm talking about something positive, but I still keep it street, I still keep it, because that's
the language that people understand.
Exactly, that's exactly it. Because it really, when I started doing shows, it changed my whole aspect of rapping.
Well, Chuck D, in their music, both recorded and on stage, does drop the F-bomb now and then. But he doesn't drop the F-bomb to entertain, he drops the F-bomb to emphasize a very positive point. Basically the same perspective you're coming from. Now, I caught your interview with Masumi Takahashi on CFCF News. And the interesting thing about it is, she was talking about a lot of the young people that you're helping to guide with your music and, of course, with the talks that you give, especially during Black History Month as well.
Exactly.
But you also mentioned that you were once one of those youths.
Exactly.
That was looking for direction as well.
Yeah, that's we talk about a lot when we do the show. Like if someone came to our school back in those days, maybe it would have made a difference, because when you're out there, you're just looking for guidance. It's like a lot of times you're young and you feel like you know what's going on, but at the end of the day, you still want an old head to let you know, like, honestly, I just did this. It's a waste of time.
Right,
you know, so it's like a lot of us were just running around aimlessly, just trying to find somewhere, trying to fit in, and that was me. I was the king of that. I had videos where I'll tell people my life doesn't matter. All I need is my boys. Like, I would say things like that. So when I got into these schools and I see kids saying the same things, I'm like, believe you me, like when it hits the fan, your boys aren't going to be there like
it's
that.
like looking at a younger reflection of yourself.
Exactly that.
I've had this discussion. Now, I consider myself part of the political, socially conscious hip-hop movement. Having worked with Chuck D, you don't have a choice. 'Cause you don't get down with anybody else unless you're down with them.
Exactly.
But I've had this very important discussion with people that hip-hop was not born out of a socially conscious perspective and political perspective, and doesn't have to be. But the argument that I always give is that hip-hop is at its strongest. Okay, so I'm not trying to say that when people like DJ Kool Herc and a lot of the architects invented hip-hop in the early 1970s were thinking politically minded, but hip-hop does serve its best purpose when there is a positive and there is a very socially conscious meaning behind it. How do you feel about a lot of the music that basically throws that out the window and just really, I mean, because, there's a lot of toxic stuff for young people out there, but especially for our young people, young black people out there, because unlike other communities, our entertainers are not entertainers. They're leaders as well. What's your perspective on that?
I mean, I have to agree with it, but it's just that balance. A lot of the artists, they have to, I actually said this before too, kind of like with my speech, at least give the audience something else. At least explain to them why you made that song. Maybe you are in a strip club, but let them know that you did something before that, or this is like, just don't make it seem like you live, eat, sleep, die in the strip club. Like give them a different perspective, and that's where I find it gets kind of messed up, where it's, you just look at an artist and we don't have any more layers to them. It used to be like, you could see an artist, you see him do something socially correct, you see him, you see his music, you see him somewhere else, but it's like now there's only one style of artist, trap music, a bunch of futures out there, and it's like there's no diversity in the game. But I still believe that music that lasts is the music with meaning. Is music that says something. Every Mother's Day, Hey Mama is gonna play from Tupac because it meant something. It's real. There's no song that's right now that's gonna be playing on Mother's Day this year, because no one's making that kind of music anymore.
Well, you bring up a very good point, because rock music wasn't being taken as a serious art form until people like Bob Dylan and people like Curtis Mayfield and James Brown started marrying politics into the music. Nobody really paid attention to hip-hop until people like Run DMC and Public Enemy came on the scene. So your art can entertain people, but when it's actually saying something, that's when it's considered a work of art. And it will stand the test of time.
Definitely so.
Tell us some of the upcoming things you got going on.
Myself, I'm working on a project called 514, representing the city.
Yes, sir.
I also put out an album last year called Khalil, which is my real name.
Yes.
It's going to be on the iTunes soon. I also have another mixtape called Never Left.
Yes, sir.
And other than that, we're putting out the music this year, because a lot of times what happened to me is, because I was doing the school tour so intensely, a lot of people forgot I even did music. So if I did drop the F-bomb, they'd be like, whoa, how are you swearing? You go to schools, I'm so confused. And it's like, okay, but you guys have to understand, that's the language they speak in these schools. So if I come into school and I act all square, and they're not going to listen. So I have to be myself for them to actually receive my message. So I had to really, I took a pause and I got back to the craft, and this year I'm really going to put out a lot of music to let everybody know why I'm City Solo.
Is there an itinerary set now for the schools for Black History Month 2016?
We're in the process of setting that up, and we're also working with Born to Rise. Okay,
so now give out the coordinates. We're going to try and keep people, up to date here on CKUT, but websites, anything, Twitter accounts, Facebook, where they can find out what schools and where you're going to be at your
You can check out musicwithmeaning.ca.
Yes.
We also have a Facebook page on Music with Meaning. It's Music with Meaning, all one word, on Facebook. You can follow me as City Solo, MCITYSOLO on everything. That's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat.
Sounds like my son. He drop all the stuff, Snapchat, Instagram, and I'm like,
straight like that. So yeah, you can just really follow my stuff, City Solo. You could check out, like I said, musicwithmeaning.ca, and also my brother posts stuff on it on the OFC.org. That's his organization as well, on Full Circle.
Now you like Muhammad Ali. He used to roll around with Howard Bingham. his own personal photographer. Now, you got your own personal photographer, who's also not a stranger to the fight game either. So there's kind of a parallel here. And I really like the way you guys, because I was just on the air and I was back the door open, and as soon as I see my brother, who we've known each other for years, and him and my brother go back
there you go.
for years. When I saw him coming in backwards, I said, "Oh, I know what he's doing, because I know how he goes against them."
That's it.
And people can probably see this interview where?
Oh, you'll be able to see it on my Facebook page as well, MCD Solo on Facebook. You'll see it on the website, MCD Solo, and on my YouTube, actually, MCD Solo on YouTube. And you could probably check it out on his page as well, longlifeproductions.ca. .com, sorry.
Now, before I get you to set up the song here, first of all, I want to congratulate you on the work that you're doing.
Thank you very much.
Keep doing it. Don't fall off track with it, because you're on the right track. And this is not only what hip-hop needs, but it's what black people need.
I appreciate that.
Because the scales are not balanced.
Exactly.
If they were balanced, you wouldn't have to have people like me complaining. See, I wouldn't mind shows like Empire if there was a show to balance it, but there's not. There's only one image of black people they want to portray in film and on television, and it's not a positive one.
Nope.
So you counterbalance that weight with the weight of your music by showing, no, that ain't black folks. That's some directors'
Exactly. That's
vision of black folks.
I could have said it
This is how
any
we
better
get that.
myself. That's legit. That's my biggest thing I preach on is balance. It's
Right.
the world needs balance. The world is based off balance, and we're not balanced right now.
No.
There's a million slave movies, not one king movie, and we've been kings. So it's
And then something like Django Unchained comes out and people get nervous.
Yeah, like
Because a slave killed everybody in the end. They didn't like that.
I know. I didn't appreciate that part, but that's the reality. Is like we're not just on the street. We're not slaves.
That's right.
We're the original people. So we have to embrace that and act like that and know who we are.
Teach.
We've had a company from day one. It's called True Kings for a reason.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
we just always try to represent that. And I always try to represent the balance. That's why I don't make too much of one thing and I don't make too much of the other, because I know I have a message that I need to give these kids.
All right, set up this jam for us right here.
This next record coming up here is called Dreamers. It's an anthem for the city. If you have a dream, if you're following anything right now and you need something to get you going, this is the record for you. It's myself featuring Millie Mills from the city and also Meek Sims from French Montana's group Coke Boys.
And City Solo, I want to thank you for blessing us with your talent and time on Butcher T's New Time Cuts today. This song is called Dreamers. You got all the coordinates. He got the Instagram, he got the Snapchat, he got the Facebook, he got whatever it is. Just Google